In the year 9 CE, Lycuswathal in the far Hyperborean reaches of the Roman Empire demonstrated against Roman rule by proposing the creation of a semi-autonomous Scythiaca province, along with its own local infantry and outfit styles, common identity, and prioritization of the Scythian language. This province went on to attract many scholars, notably historians as well as foreign merchants, looking to educate themselves about this exotic and oriental, seemingly barbaric culture. What the locals found were piles of riches, waiting to be exploited. And soon enough, the Scythian province grew wealthy from this increasing tourism industry, growing ever less dependent on the Roman assistance. The Scythian people learned much from their visitors, as the settled way of life was observed and absorbed. Many progressive Greeks saw it opportune to settle into this province and capitalize on the fresh industry, as well as admire the beauty of the steppe, temporarily away from their usual urbane lives, many marrying into Scythian families, creating a hybrid Greco-Scythian race in the process. As time went on, the appeal of the province slowly dwindled as interest became stale, but the Scythian peoples were already fundamentally changed. Situated just north of Charaxmia, the province was a strategic location and obviously the farthest inside of Roman dominance. It served as an intermediary state for Persians who wished to travel north, and the more uncivilized Scythians who wished to travel south. After Western Rome fell, the province became a strategic location for the Eastern Romans before briefly falling into the hands of the Sasanians. During this period, the quality of life once enjoyed by the Scythians during Roman rule diminished, as the Persians viewed them as barbaric, Saka peoples who needed to be assimilated into the more civilized Zoroastrian niche. Infuriated, the people began to riot, and the province was actually given independence by the Sasanian court, believing that it may serve as a buffer state between them and the now Huns in the north. This decision proved beneficial for both the Persians and the Scythians, as it prevented the Turks from settling deeper into Central Asia, and it prevented unnecessary bloodshed and money wasted between the Sasanians and Scythians. The new independent Scythian kingdom, knowledgeable in both the art of nomadic horse archer warfare and organized legion warfare, were able to take on the Turks with increased precision, allowing them to quickly gain the upper hand against the new Turkic rivals, subjugating them and eventually pushing them back east. The Scythian kingdom had now transformed into an empire, rivaling both the Sasanians and Eastern Romans. During the rise of Islam, Sassania fell as it did in our original timeline, but most of the Persians and Parthians either fled to Scythia or India, creating their own unique hybrid communities within their land. In doing so, the Zoroastrian culture was preserved, and many Zoroastrians were enlisted as military personnel by the Scythian Empire. As a result, the Scythians were able to survive the following incursions by the Arabs, and eventually it became clear that the Muslims weren't able to breach the now nigh impenetrable border defenses of the Scythians. The two cultures coexisted, both knowing that they couldn't defeat the other, in the north and in the south. The Scythian Empire eventually established agreeable ties with the Byzantines, who had already pushed aside their historical differences and united with Scythia to fight against the Islamic threat. Once the Kievan Rus converted to Christianity, they too were invited into this inner circle. Scythia persisted through the Middle Ages, even avoiding the Mongol Empire due to the butterfly effect, and eventually, the human race entered into what is agreed upon a contemporary age of technology, and when that happened, the Scythian people were permanently cemented into the history of Central Asia. Not once thought of as an abode for the Turks, but a bastion for the Scythians, a tale of miracles and physical resistance. The Scythians produced television shows, sang songs and made music in the style similar to that of the Proto-Iranians, produced countless innovations and brilliant minds, far more than